We have an unsecured back door. Myself and my friend Drew are going to go ahead and secure the residence.
Sheriff's office!
You knew Chucky got shot.
I did.
Deputy Cannon and I were responding to a welfare check. Charles Hogue lived alone. There was no indication of anybody actually seeing him.
I started to knock on the door.
Sheriff's office!
And that's when I noticed an elderly man laying face down in the backyard.
Stand by, but he appears to be deceased.
As I came up to the body, he had a single gunshot wound to the back of the head. And both of his arms were folded underneath him, but coming out to one side, which meant his body didn't have a chance to catch himself when he fell, like he'd been struck from behind.
We weren't able to locate any firearm, but we did locate a shell casing. And we knew at that time we had a homicide. We didn't see any signs of forced entry. The home wasn't ransacked, but Mr. Hogue's wallet, his keys, and cell phone were missing. Once we got into his bedroom, we noticed some 9mm pistol ammunition in a drawer, and it did match the shell casing that we found in the backyard. In the guest bathroom, I located a Bulldog brand pistol holster, but we never located any kind of pistol.
So that brought up a red flag. Where was this pistol?
Mr. Hogue's vehicle was found behind a vacated building, and the area that it was in was very grown over. It was parked up against bushes so that it looked like somebody was trying to block it from public view.
The only thing of note that did come from that search was the driver's seat was all the way in the forward position.
We knew that Charles Hogue was tall. The last person driving that vehicle was much shorter than Mr. Hogue was. We located a small local church who just so happened to have security cameras. And we noticed in that midday time frame, Mr. Hogue's truck traveling at a high rate of speed.
It's possible it was the killer that was driving.
We just started cold calling numbers to try to find anybody who had contact with him in the days leading up to his murder. And then I called a number. A female answered the phone. She identified herself as Tara Wilhite. She began telling us that in the weeks prior, she was kicked out of her home and was a bit destitute. And she was walking along a rural highway, and Mr. Hogue came upon her in his vehicle and had asked her if she had needed a ride anywhere. Mr. Hogue told her that he'd be willing to let her stay at his home. I had to inform her Mr. Hogue was found murdered at his home. She became audibly upset. We asked her if we could meet with her in person. We felt that she may be able to offer information about things that we saw in the home, particularly the firearm that we were searching for. I know everything's been a little bit crazy, but we appreciate you coming in. So, starting from the day, that you first met Mr. Hogue.
You said it was Sunday, March the 15th?
Yes,
Does that sound
the
right?
15th. I was headed, towards town, and he stopped and asked if I needed a ride. He had given me his name and asked if I had somewhere to go, and I told him no. And he offered to let me stay at his house.
How long did you stay total?
Through the 21st.
And prior to this, you never knew?
Prior to this, I had not known who he was.
Okay.
Did you see at any time in his vehicle on his person a pistol?
The only time I saw the pistol was in the house.
When was the first time you saw the pistol?
It was in the holster on a dresser right beside the TV.
When we talked on the phone the other day, you mentioned that your fiance, Chris
He's no
Brown,
longer my fiance.
former, that he came out.
We picked him up on the 19th. We were trying to work things out. It wasn't something I'd wanted to do. Because Christopher is very jealous and controlling. I had asked Chucky if we could go get Kristen. Chucky said that was fine, and we ended up him just spending the night.
How tall is Chris?
A little bit taller than me. I want to say like 5'6".
About 5'6". Right. Anybody that you can think of, even your gut telling you, I'm suspicious of this person.
His girlfriend called that morning.
And I know that was something we talked about the other day, that Chucky had met this female online,
Yes.
right? She supposedly lives in Pennsylvania.
And was coming the week of the 25th, but as far as I know, Chucky did most of his socializing with her through Facebook.
Through Facebook.
We had subpoenaed Mr. Hoag's phone records and social media records as well. We found no records to indicate he was speaking with anyone on Facebook Messenger in Pennsylvania.
There's absolutely no record of him talking to anybody in Pennsylvania on his phone records.
Then why did Chucky tell me that?
He absolutely had no FaceTime conversations, absolutely had no Messenger conversations.
Well, he was on the phone and he told me it was his girlfriend and she was Vietnamese.
My point is, as we come into this conversation, I want you to know we've done our homework at this point.
I'm aware of that.
When his truck was recovered, the driver's seat was moved all the way up. So whoever drove that truck last was shorter.
Y'all are thinking it's me and you don't have to say it. But I did not kill Chucky.
But I think you know who did. Or I think you know more than what you're telling us.
No, I don't know who did.
Have you been to Chucky's house before?
No,
You haven't?
not before when Sarah was there and I stayed the night.
I'm just going to lay it out on the table and ask you if you had anything to do with Mr. Hoax.
No, sir, I did not.
How tall are you, Chris?
5'7".
You want to take a wild guess as far as how tall the person was that was driving Mr. Hoax's truck?
No, sir.
He's between 5'6" and 5'7".
Sarah put me up to.
Okay. Can you tell me about that?
We were supposed to go over there and just grab a few things to go sell. And it got out of hand. I walked back in, used the bathroom, and to grab a few things. And
What'd you grab?
was a .45 pistol. And we stepped out and he was out back. I started taking off and he said, "Hey, can you come here?" I was holding a gun and my finger was on the trigger and I didn't mean to shoot.
He did take us out to the creek there behind the residence. We get to this body of water, and Chris Brown points to the water. We find Mr. Hoag's wallet and the keys to his vehicle, and a 9mm handgun.
We have footage of Chucky's truck leaving his house after the murder.
I was there, but I didn't know what happened. I promise I didn't do anything.
Okay, so let me introduce myself. Heather Meadows. I am his boss. I am the one that decides if you walk out of here in handcuffs and get charged with capital murder. Me. Normal, decent human beings don't want to lie. They want to get it off their chest. They want to be able to have a clear conscience.
I do, but I don't want to be in trouble for something I didn't do.
But you know what you did do that you don't want to admit because you know it makes you feel like is that you knew Chucky got shot.
I did.
Look at me. I know you heard it.
That gave us the probable cause that we could arrest her as a co-conspirator to the homicide. Tara Wilhite and Chris Brown are fairly unassuming individuals. I don't think anybody would suspect them of being cold-hearted murderers. And that's what makes them that much more dangerous. And I don't think that they should ever be released.